Erling Haaland, just hearing his name is enough to make any defense nervous. With his massive physique, incredible speed, and extraordinary goal-scoring ability, he is often the biggest threat on the pitch. However, Haaland doesn't always get to run rampant. There are teams and center-backs who have figured out how to shut him down. The question is, how do you deal with such a terrifying player? Solving the Haaland puzzle requires not only a solid defense, but also sophisticated tactical preparation. So what have teams done to silence Haaland on the field? Haaland is a nightmare for any defense, but there are matches where he has been completely invisible. In reality, some center-backs have been very successful in neutralizing the Norwegian striker by using smart positioning, quick marking, and always being ready to intercept. They've turned Haaland into a ghost on the pitch, a feat that isn't easy to accomplish and certainly not something every defender can do. When facing opponents with tactical awareness and decisiveness, Haaland can encounter significant difficulties. Therefore, to neutralize Haaland, it requires not just a good defense, but players who know how to play at the highest level. Legendary center-back Alessandro Nesta once said, "Throughout my career, I've faced many top-class forwards like Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, but the toughest one was Ronaldo de Lima. He was completely different. I dreaded every encounter with him on the pitch. Even Erling Haaland is no exception. I believe I could block him." On his quest to conquer major competitions, Erling Haaland has often given opposing defenses headaches with his outstanding goal-scoring ability. However, despite his impressive achievements, there have been teams and excellent center-backs who've done the almost unthinkable: silencing Haaland. This not only highlights the caliber of top defenders, but also shows that dealing with a high-level striker like Haaland requires special individuals in defense. One team that successfully managed to contain Haaland is Arsenal during the 2023 to 2024 season. In matches against Manchester City, Arsenal's center-back duo William Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes performed brilliantly, denying Haaland much space to operate. With their smart positioning and strong dueling abilities, Saliba and Gabriel effectively suffocated the supply of passes to Haaland. At the same time, they were always ready to press and put pressure on Haaland when he received the ball. These were matches where fans witnessed Haaland seemingly disappear on the pitch. Inter Milan is another prime example, especially in their clash with Manchester City in the 2022 to 2023 Champions League final. Inter's veteran center-backs, particularly Francesco Acerbi, showcased their composure with timely and decisive tackles. Inter's defensive system not only limited Haaland's shots, but also isolated him from his teammates, preventing the striker from making a difference in the match. From these examples, it's clear that silencing Erling Haaland doesn't simply rely on a good defensive system, but also requires outstanding individuals in defense. Center-backs capable of snuffing out Haaland usually possess a well-rounded skill set, from smart interceptions and good reading of the game to strong one-on-one duels and aggressive pressing. These defenders also maintain high levels of concentration throughout the match. Just one moment of lapse, and Haaland can punish them with his sharp movement and finishing. Reviewing the teams that have successfully quieted Haaland, a common factor emerges. They all have top-class center-backs who are always ready to face and fight in big games. This also demonstrates the importance of investing in quality defensive personnel, especially when facing world-class stars like Erling Haaland. To stifle Haaland, one of the key strategies is to disrupt the supply from the midfield. In Manchester City's system, Kevin De Bruyne plays a pivotal role, regularly providing crucial passes for Haaland. Teams know that if they let De Bruyne operate freely, the chances of Haaland scoring are high. Therefore, many teams have adopted the tactic of surrounding De Bruyne, squeezing his space and preventing him from connecting with Haaland. When the supply of passes is cut off, Haaland is forced into difficult situations, and that's when the defense can breathe a sigh of relief. A viable approach used by many teams is to cut off the supply to Erling Haaland, specifically from Kevin De Bruyne. This duo frequently combines effectively when De Bruyne has the ball in the right half space. Haaland immediately makes intelligent runs to receive accurate passes from the Belgian midfielder. Even though Manchester City's opponents are familiar with this attacking method, it's still difficult to fully neutralize the pair. Teams facing Manchester City have realized that the best way to minimize the threat from Erling Haaland is to tightly mark Kevin De Bruyne. They don't allow De Bruyne any space or time to execute his signature passes. However, this tactic is not foolproof, as De Bruyne is the main but not the only source of passes in the team. Even if De Bruyne is tightly marked, teams still have to deal with other threats like Savinho, Jeremy Doku, or Jack Grealish, who are very adept at creating surprises with their movement. A prime example of how to handle Manchester City can be seen in Inter Milan's recent match. Simone Inzaghi opted to use Carlos Augusto instead of Federico Di Marco on the left wing, as the Brazilian player is better defensively. On the opposite flank, Matteo Darmian was also trusted for his defensive solidity. Inzaghi was willing to sacrifice part of the team's attacking strength to shore up the defense, especially when facing a powerful team like Manchester City.